I did want to, this was, you know how you see something and you're like, this is a message. This was something that the artist Dred Scott posted. And it was something that resonated with me very much. I don't know if you all saw that post. He says, what if fascists were more scared of the people than we currently are scared of fascists? What if when the government cuts $400 million from Columbia University, the students, faculty, and administration call for walkouts from classes and turn the school into a classroom on how to fight fascism? What if other colleges and universities joined them? What if the American Bar Association and major corporate law firms joined the ACLU and courageous students in defending Mahmoud Khalil, the Palestinian activist facing deportation? What if car caravans of students went to the detention facility in Louisiana where he is being held and demanded his immediate release? What if some members of the armed forces found ways to stop the purge of generals and senior officers who won't follow fascist orders? What if thousands of government employees who are threatened with being fired all went on strike? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, this is the level of thinking we have to get to in this point. He says, what if news agencies supported press freedom by walking out of press briefing until AP reporters are allowed unfettered access to the presidential events? What if black businesses and church leaders, fraternities, sororities, celebrities, and ordinary people made it clear that birthright citizenship was part of ending slavery and that we aren't letting fascists end it? What if we supported teachers who taught this history in schools nationwide? Go ahead, Farouk.
I agree with all of that. And I think the only pushback is I think on this show, I think it was Linda Saussure or whomever it was that we had as a guest that said that America has never moved away from Nazism because it's always been pop culture. It's always been in cinema. It's always been represented that no matter what you do, you turn on, you see a Nazi flag. Hollywood has all this Nazi regalia that they constantly keep, right?
Right.
They also did a really good job of showing what happened to people who bucked the system. When they show you how brutal the civil rights movement was.
Right, absolutely.
So I think that has a lot to do with why you don't have as much action. Like if you've seen how the protesters retreated in 2020. There's a lot of, I think, gun shyness when it comes to activism at this point and just rushing to really push back on all of these points that he's eloquently talking about.
Right.
Because there's a good amount of fear. I think people do realize, like, I don't have much left and I can't afford to lose what I have already.
But what is the point?
I get you. No, I'm not disagreeing.
Right.
I'm just saying I think like the general consensus of the American people is that of fear.
100%. But again, it's like, where is that? And I think that's kind of what we're waiting for right now is that tipping point.
Yeah.
Where people say, you know what?
Fuck it.
This is absolutely enough. You know, we're not going to take it anymore. Will we ever get to that tipping point, or will they send out $5,000 checks to everybody and kind of calm folks down for like a couple months? Trouble?
And I feel like what we're seeing is kind of like the white supremacist use of power, right?
Yes.
They either pacify you or they petrify you, and they make you feel like their power is greater than any power that you could have as an individual or collective. And now people are like, do I fight back? What does that mean for me? What does that mean for my rights, for my freedoms? Because now we have a president who is saying, everyone in his executive branch is pretty much saying he doesn't have to listen to the checks and balances and can strip your rights at any moment.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're a regular person, when you're a business, or you're someone who has any interaction with the government or has any, ties with the government, you're like, okay, what does it really mean for me to, stand up for myself in this moment? Can I do that? Will that bring me more consequences than it will, anything that I'm actually fighting for?
Right.
So it's like,
wow, petrify or pacifies that, and that's the reality that so many people are living in this day.